backyard golf course build continues. We have the USGA root zone mix spread on one of the greens, but now it's time to tackle the gigantic irrigation system. Saturday morning, awesome weather. Before I get back to ripping up the fairway with the power rake on the skid steer, I want to put down some irrigation up here. The house is right here, so we got an awesome view out the window. You see the first green, you can see the far green, you see everything. It's just awesome from here. So this is kind of a backyard area that transitions down to a golf course. So kind of unique, and I want to make sure I have some nice lawn up here that gets water. Out there on the golf course, I'm trying to throw as much water as far as I can to cover more area with sprinkler heads. But up here, I'm kind of in close quarters. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to go back to my smaller heads, the Hunter PGP rotors. Those are the ones that I use on the front lawn. And I don't know if you've seen the front lawn yet. I'm going to shoot some of that video where we did the lawn 2 years ago. I used these Hunters and they are awesome. I've got perfect coverage. I just don't know how I'm editing this video because it's been total chaos here late in the season with this bonus weather. I'm trying to put all my time into working out here, so I have so much video that I'm gonna have to sift through and try and tell a story editing later. This is a crazy sprinkler zone, over 450 feet to the water source, so it's kind of crazy. I just wanted to get it done because this area is pretty much complete and I can throw down some topsoil here. I can't believe I said the word topsoil. It's been years waiting. This backyard area has really changed a lot in the last year here. I've built it up with a lot of fill to level off so we could get a pad here, maybe for some sitting areas. And also what I want to steal right here where this road cone is a beautiful tee shot here. I want a tee box here. I think it just looks so good. You can walk out the door in your bare feet on nice shortcut ryegrass and you can launch balls at the far green. I think it's just so good from here. I have 3 sprinkler heads all converging on this tee box area, and I think we're going to need that water because I'm probably going to be overseeding this a lot with ryegrass because those wedges are going to do a lot of damage. That sun is warm and that is the key with this black poly pipe. I came out early this morning, tried to start real early before the sun was up. The pipe was a little cool. It's hard to work with. So this is a bonus day. And the nice thing with this weather for definitely starting grass seed is a bonus, but also for working with this black pipe. I know what you're thinking. I got too much of a radius here. You're probably right. Under ideal situation with more time, I would have shoveled this softer with a soft round over. I don't think it's going to spring a leak, but there's definitely some pressure on these outside points. This is it though. I didn't want to take any more time. Number 7 sprinkler head is right there. I got to do that. Number 6 is there. This one goes to a flower bed. So we're at the end of the line on this monster zone. There we go. Another irrigation zone done. This one's all ready now for topsoil up to the house. We've got this golf green piped in for irrigation. The far golf green is piped in for irrigation. So all I have to do now, well, not all I have to do, it's a huge job, but get all the rest of this fairway and rough area piped for irrigation. But before I can do that, I want to run this power rake on the skid steer everywhere because I really don't want to be power raking when I have some irrigation lines in the ground. I have a ton of ground to cover with this thing, so I think it's a great time for a power raking musical montage. That power rake is working awesome. Look at the amount of rock that this thing has pulled. And the best part is the soil that remains is actually loose. This has been so packed down and hard. It's almost like a parking lot for the last few years here. I never thought I'd see it loose like this. It's crazy the size of the rock that thing is flinging out of the ground. It's pretty rough up here. There's some huge rocks sticking out, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. But up here, you kind of get high here where it looks really nice. I'd like to do a tee box right here. You can shoot that way, and then you can also shoot back towards the house. So really nice look up here. You can see the pond, you can see the fairway, you can see the green. Change of plans one more time. Before I get to the hill and rip that down, I think I better use this trencher that I rented for the weekend. I've only got a day and a half left to use it, and I want to get all of my main lines in. The guys at the rental store said, this is the one for you. This is a 1,500 pound beast. So I'm hoping it chews through the rock here. When I set the water pump up last week and we had it above ground shooting 5 rotors, lots of water, I know that I can get head-to-head coverage at 45 feet. So that's the magic number that I'm going to use. I'm going to send 4 lines down this property 45 feet apart. That should give me perfect coverage, and then those rotors will be spaced on the line 45 feet front to back. This is going to take some time. I don't want to rush it, even though everything I do right now feels like I'm rushing it to get it done in time. Flags and a measuring wheel are going to be my best friend. I'm hitting those 45-foot increments, color-coded flags, each one for each zone. Good morning. I ran this trenching machine last night almost in the dark just to get a feel for it, and it did not go well. It was not the news I was looking for. There is so much of that size rock here that yes, you can trench through it, but it is so slow and so hard. I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do today. This trench here, it might only be 40 feet long, and it took 15 minutes, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but I have a lot of trenching to do. I do have the excavator. If I have to resort to trying to trench with the excavator, I will, but I'd really like to make this thing work. I think I'm going to take it to the highest point on all my irrigation runs, work with the downhill, and hope that works. That worked a lot better. I came up on the high ground, wanted to work with gravity as I went down, and like any piece of machinery, it all comes down to the operator, so I have to get better on it too. As I learn the speeds, I can kind of jump from neutral to drive. You need about 4 hands. There's a lot of levers there and steering, but make no mistake, this thing is a beast. There's sparks flying off that blade, off the chain. It can really get through anything. It's just going at the right speed to work through it. The trenching machine did not like going up or down hills, so I jumped in the excavator to complete the remaining trenches. I got it all trenched. I can't believe it. This was a huge weekend. Got a ton done. That was the last bucket load on that green for the sprinkler irrigation. And it is chaos here, absolute chaos with trenches every 45 feet all over the place. I just made this up as I went. I think it was yesterday. I marked the flags that it's a total blur this weekend. Just got so much done. Can't believe it's all trenched. Happy with that, but now it's a daunting task of getting this pipe laid, marking out these sprinklers. I ordered 2,000 feet of pipe. I honestly don't know if I'm going to have enough. This is kind of, I'm swinging for the fences here, going with irrigated lawn everywhere that you can see on the property, which is maybe a bit much to ask for, but we might as well at least shoot for that to start with. This has been great weather, September, middle of September here, super bonus weather. I'm hot and tired, but we got an absolute ton done. However, there's a lot of rolls of pipe over there that I got to put down in the ground. All along the sprinkler runs, I've been using a T to branch off to each rotor, but at the end I use a 90 degree. That looks pretty good right there. This gives me enough height adjustment that I can move that rotor around fairly easily once the topsoil is somewhere up here. Snug that up. And then I'm just slipping on this oversized pipe. It's basically just there to mark where the rotor is going to go and block the dirt. There we go, all done. I only have 4 rotors on this run because it's a key one. Apart from the greens, this is probably the most important. It is straight down the fairway, and I do not want the fairway to be burnt. So these 4 rotors are going to do full 360 spins, and they're going to put down a lot of water. So I kind of backed off, didn't want to go with 5 on them. The rest of the zones have mostly 5. I think what I'm going to focus on is this crazy area with a lot of pipe going on here in case those trucks get freed up and start to bring some root zone mix in the next day or two. This is where they come in. So I'd like to get these zones all done and buried so that if by chance, hopefully I can get a truck this week, at least I'm not holding them up with open trenches because they just can't get over this stuff. Back for another day, well, a part day. I have a day job, unfortunately, that does not involve building golf courses. I think I can actually get some of these trenches backfilled. I've ran about 2/3 of the pipe. This place is rocky, so backfilling I knew was going to be a bigger problem than probably digging the trenches. I don't want any of those rocks to go on the pipe because it defeats the entire purpose of doing all this work. So I think I'm gonna use this sand that I have left over here, and then we can maybe not worry as much about rock if I can get 4 or 5 inches of sand onto these pipes. It is complete chaos back here as we get to the valve boxes. There are so many pipes. I have 10 zones, 10 runs here. This system that I do with the poly pipe, I do use more pipe maybe than you would if you moved one of those boxes to the other end and then just wired it from there, but this is the style that I just know. I'm comfortable with it, so definitely want to have this backfilled properly. Another really nice day, and I just got a call that one of the 2 trucks of Root Zone Mix is coming this morning, so it's kind of last minute. Thankfully it wasn't yesterday because I had open trenches and pipe everywhere, but I have to scramble right now, get definitely this center trench backfilled, probably that one over there, because these are huge long trucks. Up next, now that the Root Zone Mix is finally here, it's time to finish building the greens and smooth the putting surface to its final contour.